welcome to Intellipaat YouTube channel. This is part 7 of MERN-7 blog project series. And in today's video, we are going to start creating our homepage and we will also be creating a blog view page. We will see how to send data to the backend from the frontend and how to create a beautiful loader component. But before we start with that, I would like to request you all to subscribe to our Intellipaat YouTube channel for more exciting content. Now, without further delay, let's get started. So first of all, we will start by a home page. So if I'll just move in my home page, you can see over here, that is just this nav bar over here. But I want some other things in my home page. Let's say if I'm redirecting to my home page, I want some filters over there which says that, I can filter out based on the categories of my post, and also whatever the post the users have created, I want that particular post on my particular home page. So let's get started and create that. Let's first start by importing all the necessary things. So over here you can see we have only React and navbar, but there are few other things we will be requiring. So let's say import Axios from Axios. All right, and after Axios we will have our home post. So there will be so many posts will be shown on our home page. So for that, I'm importing all the necessary things first, and then I'll be moving to my development part. Okay, so why I'm importing everything first? Because I don't get any errors when I'm creating this particular components and everything. Okay, so let's also import what other things we will be needing. Navbar we already have. We will be needing footer, so let's say footer from our components. Then import, we will be needing this URL from URL. Then we will be needing some hooks, so let's say use effect, use context, and use state. Wait a while, we are going to use all of these hooks, and we will also learn how to use specific hook while performing some specific functionalities. Okay, so just be with me over here, and we will understand everything in very deep. So let's say over here I also be using link and use location. Over here it's use location, not locate. Okay, so make sure of that. React router DOM, this will be coming from React router DOM like this. And okay, one more thing we have to import is loader from components. So let's say /component/ loader like this. And the last thing we need is our user context from our context user context. Okay, now before moving to our UI part, let's first create all the functionalities and then we will move to our UI. Okay, so over here before my return statement, I'll be creating some constant variables, and we'll be using all of the imports we have just made. So first of all, we have created one search function inside our navbar. So that search function is going to return something, right? So for that, the result of that particular search function will be shown on our home page. So for that, I have to make changes in my home page according to my search result. So let's say search. Over here I'm just creating an empty object, and inside that I'm storing whatever the data came out of the search, and I'll be using use location over here, and it will locate all those particular things which my search just returned. So you can give a statement over here saying that the search console log search like that, so that you will get all the search result in return. Okay, but right now I don't feel like doing that, so I'm not. Okay, if you want you can do that. So over here there is some error. I don't know what is the error. It says Axios is wrong. Why? What's wrong over here? Okay, okay, silly mistakes. Fine. Now you can see this is working. I just say that it's never used because we haven't written the functionalities yet. We will write it and all the warnings will go on. Now let's create one more const over here. Over here I'm creating a view state, and first of all we will have the posts, and then we will set that particular post. So this post is basically all the post which is coming from our backend. Okay, so over here it will be an empty array because there will be so many posts, not only single post. So I'm not taking any string or any other kind of data. I'm making it as a empty array. Then we will have const. In case there are no results, so I'm creating one more state over here. This will only return true or false. So either there can be some results or there are no results. So in case of no results, we will return that there are no results found, and if there are results, we will show the post. So by doing this, we will be creating our conditional rendering. Okay, so let's say no results like this, comma, set no results, and we will make initially as false like this. Now we will also check whether the we will also set the loader. So let's say in your backend you have hundreds of posts and your backend is getting quite heavy to load at once. So for that we also have to give some loader or something like that, so that the user keep on getting engaged that there is something loading in the backend and the result will be shown onto the screen. So for that I'm creating one state for the loader. So let's say loader, comma, set loader like this, and initially this will also return only two values, which is true and false. Either the data is loading or the data is on the screen. Okay, so let's say one more I'm creating over here as user. So if you remember, whenever we were creating our login page, there we have created this particular user set user thing, right? So similarly we will do for our home page, because we want this particular user data onto our home page as well. So that's why I'm creating this user, and this will come from our use context, and inside that we will have user context like this. Simple. Now let's create one more state as categories. So this basically will have all the categories of our particular post. So this will be all the categories, and based on these categories the data of our home page will get iterated. Okay, and one more thing, we will create a filter data. So this filter data will have only those particular data which is result of that particular category search. Okay, so for that I'm creating this filter data state also. So first of all, what we will do, first of all, at the very beginning, I just want all the posts to be shown on my home screen, as well as I want all the categories to be shown on my home screen, right? So for that, what I'll do, I'll just fetch all the posts and I'll return that particular post data to my homepage UI. Okay, so let's create a function for that. So let's say const fetch post is equal to async over here, async like this, and now we know why we use async and everything, right? Okay, so initially when I don't have the data, I'll set my loader as true. We will also try to create a loader in this particular video itself. Okay, so don't worry about that, so that we can get the actual output what we are looking for. So while I'm writing my if block, I'll also create my catch block so that it stops giving me an error. Catch, it will catch error, and Inside this we will have console.log error and set loader as true. So on screen what I'm doing, whenever I'm getting the error in my particular code, what I'll do, I'll just keep on showing that particular loader. Why I'm doing that? Because I don't want my user to think that my website is not working and ultimately abandoning my website. So if I'll just show you the output over here, as of now we don't have any loader, but it should return the the word saying that it's a loader. So but right now we don't have. Okay, let's just log in first. So let's say test@gmail.com like this, and over here 1 2 3 4 5 6. As of now you can see this is just the empty screen, but as we will write the code and write the UI for this, the loader will be shown. Okay, now inside our try block, just pause the video over here for a minute and think what if we could put inside our try block. So I hope you all have tried to answer this particular question, but for those of you who have thought that we will make our API call and get the data, so they are absolutely correct. So let's do that. Let's say const rest is equal to await, and we will use exhaust over here. Don't worry, we will also learn how to use our fetch. We have already done that in our earlier video, so don't worry about that. We will also do that. Okay, so we will say our URL plus. Okay, now the endpoint part. Try to comment down this particular endpoint from where we will be getting the post. Okay, so if you are watching the video till now, then you must have known what endpoint we will be putting over here, or you can say that the what external API we will be putting over here. So I hope you guys have commented down that, and over here if I'll say it as /API /post and / okay, because all the post will be inside my post. Now plus in case there is any search, so we will also put search over here. Why search over here? Because let's say I have something, I have some categories, so I'll be searching that particular category or particular data over here, right? So we will be passing that particular data inside my post. So inside my post endpoint, whatever the data I have over here will be thrown into the result. Now after that, what I'll do, I'll just say set post rest.data like this, and let's also say set filter. Why this happens to me? Set filter data as rest.data. Okay, now let's also create our category filter. Okay, so what we will do when we are creating our category filter is we will create one variable as let category is equal to rest.data data.map, and inside this we will write items, and over here we will write return items dot item dot category. Categories like this. Why this is giving me an error? Could not find item. Okay, so it says could not find item because I have written items over here. Okay, either you can remove s from here or you can add the s over here. Okay, all right. Now let's create one more variable as let sets is equal to new set Now what we will do, we will map all the categories. So let's say category dot for each, okay, for each, like this. E will be capital over here. Okay, fine. Now categories for each, what we will do, we will pass the category. Category like this, and over here I'll create one arrow function like this, and inside this what I'll do, I'll say if my category dot length is greater than 0, in that case what we will do, we will set add as category. Okay, so I have forgot one more condition over here. So over here let's say category question dot for each cata. Want to enclose this particular part over here. Okay, okay, so our category filter is ready, and also at the end what we have to do, we also have to set cat is equal to array from sets. All right, so we have also set this particular category. Where did it go? Okay, over here we have successfully set this particular category according to our search filter and our filter categories. Okay, now what we have to do, either you can console the data which we have got from our this particular category. So I am gonna do the same. So let's say console. Why I am writing this particular statement, consoling my data, so that I get to know where my what my data is coming back from my backend. And over here let's say if res dot data dot length is triple equal to 0, in that case what we will do, we will set no results as true. True. What this statement means is, in case my data has no value, in that case what we will do, we will set our no results as true. Why we are changing the no result is because otherwise what it will do, if my data is not coming from the backend, it will keep loading, right? But there are no data, what to load in that case? So for that we are setting our no results as true. Okay, else what we will do, else I'll just say my set result, I'm just copying this particular statement down, I'm pasting this over here, and I'm making this as a false, and outside this also I'll be just copying this particular statement down and pasting that over here. Okay, now we have already handled our error. I'll just remove this particular white spaces from here. Fine, so this is for my category. Now what I'll do, I'll make use of our use effect, and with help of that I'll fetch all the filter data and throw that particular data to my front end. Now let's move ahead, and over here let's say use effect like this. We will create one arrow function over here. Can anybody tell me that why we use effect? So if anybody knows from here, they can put that particular answer onto comment section. Okay, so basically whenever we are dealing with our backend and there are some data coming from our API, so in that case we basically use our use effect hook. So what this use effect hook does is basically get the data from our backend. So why we use use effect hook in our React code is, it basically run some particular function according to your particular requirement. So there can be if you want to fetch some particular data in every 5 seconds, so you can mention a time over here, and you can use interval function over here, and based on that, the whatever the function return inside this particular use effect hook will be fetched, or you can say run. Okay. And one more thing, whenever you are running your React application at that particular time, it's compulsory that your use effect hook will execute at the very beginning. So for that, we basically make use of our use effect hook. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So let's say fetch over here, fetch, let's say post, like this. Now over here I'll just pass search like this. Okay. Now what we will do, we will create one const filter data function, and inside that we will pass our filter data, and we will create one arrow function like this. Cannot redeclare. Okay, it says cannot redeclare. Where I have declared the filter data variable, I have to look for that. Okay, so it says that the filter data cannot be redeclared because it's a block type. Okay, so I have declared my filter data over here, and okay, fine. Okay, I'll use double L over here. Okay, you can change the name, whatever the name you want to give. You can change that particular name over there, because we cannot use same name of constant variable twice in our particular code. So I already have declared my filter data at the very beginning when I was using my use state, and I cannot create the function for the same name. Okay, now let's create inside my filter data function. What I'll do, I'm getting this particular filter data result, right? And what I'll do, I'll just create one variable as new post. So what is this new post storing? New post is storing whatever the data we got after filtering that particular data, right? So let's say post over here dot filter like this, and inside this we will pass our post. Post is basically a post, the short form. You can use post as well. Okay, now inside this we will write the return statement. What this will return? This will return as post question mark if the post is true. In that case, we will write that categories that includes what? Filter data like this. Now outside this, I also have to set the filter data as new post. So what this filter data is doing, this is returning to my front end, right? And this new post is the fresh data which I got after the filtering my data, right? And this set filter data is setting my home page data to whatever the data I got from my filtering. Okay, I hope this part is clear to you, this logic is clear to you. Now let's move ahead inside our return function, and over here I'm creating one div, and now I'm creating the UI for my particular home page. Now inside this I'm creating one more div. This is just to wrap all the things up. That's why I'm creating more divs. You can remove few of the divs also. Let's start by giving some class name. So let's say class name over here. First of all, let's make our display flex wrap for my responsiveness, and also let's create one more div inside this, and let's give some class name to this particular div. So you can change the styling according to your likings and dislikings. Okay, I have just created the basic styling for my particular blog website. If you want to give more styling to your blog website, you can do that side by side. You can also refer to Tailwind CSS documentation if you want more help in styling. So if you don't know this, we have already discussed about this padding, margin, flex wrap, and justify center. So I'm not going to explain that part again and again. So by now you have the idea that P3 is padding 3 from all the sides, M5 is margin 5 from all the sides, flex is display flex, flex wrap is wrapping the display when my device size is changing, and justify center is content justify center. Okay, so I hope this part is clear to you and you don't have any issues with me using Tailwind. Okay, now over here I'll be conditionally rendering the data. So what kind of data we will be getting over here? So over here, first of all, we will be displaying all the categories data, and from where this categories data is coming to us, it's coming from our create post. Okay, so this data is coming from the backend. If the user is creating more categories will be added to this particular data, and initially there will be few categories mentioned to select from, and from those all categories will be listed over here. So let's just try and do that. So let's say cat dot length. I guess there will be initially it will give you an error because there are no categories defined, and once we will create all those categories, it will map. Okay, so let's say cat length, and for that particular length we will be mapping those categories. So let's say categories over here, let's say category, and over here I'm giving arrow function like this, and inside this particular curly braces I'll return my button. So what is this button? This is a specific button for my specific category. Okay, over here inside this particular button I'll write category like this. Where there is error it's showing. Okay, over here there is some issue. What is the issue? Okay, no, there are no issues as of now. We will fix it. Okay, don't worry. Okay, now inside our button I'll also give some class names over here. So let's say class name like this, and over here let's give padding as 3, my margin as 5, and my height will be fixed at 90 pixels, and my width will be 150 pixels like this, and my border text LG. Then I'll have my font as let's keep it semi bold. I guess you can use medium or extra bold, whatever you like. Okay, and my background will be white, my shadow will be, so I'm giving just a shadow over here. Okay, I'm not changing the background color because that's little old fashioned. Shadow, and my shadow will be of blue color. Blue, let's make it 200, and I'm changing the line over here so that you can see better. Okay, fine. Okay, over here let's also give shadow, even it's not on hover, and shadow will be black. You can also change the thickness of this particular shadow as well. Okay, by changing shadow XL or double XL, everything. Okay, you can use that, but right now I'm just keeping a very minimal shadow on my particular buttons. Let's say on click of this particular button, what will be happening? We'll be passing this category to our this function. Over here we will be changing this, and we will also change this particular data, saying that the filter data. Okay, now on click, what we will do, we will give an arrow function over here. Let's say filter data, and inside this particular filter data we will set the category like this, and here we have already written our category. I don't know why this is giving me an error. Let me just check quickly. Okay, so okay, let's debug this particular code. Okay, I have just forgot dot map over here, and this error is gone. Okay, you can see this shows that compilation. Okay, is this giving me the warning? There are no errors over here. Okay, let's move to our output as well. So you can see right now the screen is clear. Why the screen is clear? Because I don't have any categories to mention, right? So that's why this is still showing me the clear screen. Now I'll move back to my VS Code, and after doing the categories I will have my post section. So inside my post section, I'll create one div first, and inside that I'll map all my posts which is coming from the backend. So let's say div, and also I'll set my header, I'll also set my loader over here. So let's start by giving some class names to this particular div. So let's say class name, starting with my flex display, flex wrap on, and width will be 95%. You can change this width. If you want to give 100%, you can use 100% as well, but I'm just keeping, little margin from both the sides, or else you can use margin as well. Margin padding you can give. Okay, now what we will do, we will check whether the data is coming from the backend or not. So first of all, we will check whether the screen is loading or not. Let's say my data is in the processing of getting loaded. So over there, what we will do, we will show the loader. So for that, I'm creating the tertiary operator by simply opening and closing my curly braces. Inside that, what I'll do, I'll check whether my loader is basically the state which I have created. Okay, so let's say my loader question mark. If my loader is true, in that case what I'll do, I'll just create one div over here, and inside that div we will set the loader. So I'm just setting my loader over here like this, and this loader is component. Okay, and this loader is variable. So if you are getting confused, you can change the case of this particular loader, but right now I don't think you will be confused over here, because this loader we will be always using curly angular braces, and this loader is just a variable. Okay, fine. Now let's also give this div some class name, because I want my loader at the very center of my particular screen. So let's say h is equal to screen, and my flex will be display will be fair flex, and justify center item center. Item center. Now I'm done with this, and what if my loader is false? In that case, I'll make use of this columns, and after, if my loader is false, this condition will be rendered. Okay, so over there what we will do, we will check. There will be two conditions, whether we got an error or there are no results. Okay, so let's say not no results. In case there are results and still my loader is false, in that case what we will do, I'll check whether my no results is true or false. No results is true means there are actually no results, and no results is false means there are some results, but my loader is still at the true state. Okay, now what I'll do, if my no results is true, in that case I'll show the data, because my loader is false. Data dot map, what we will map, we will map the post. Inside this we will create one div. This is basically a return statement. Okay, now I'll create a div. You can write the curly braces, and inside this you can give the return statement, and inside that particular return statement you can pass this div. I'll show you that as well. Wait, I'm just removing this particular part, and I'll create this particular angular bracket. I'll use return this, and over here I can create this div like this as well. Okay, but this is the shortcut to do that, so I'm not using this particular part, and instead of that I'm making use of my Just give me a second. Okay. Over here I'm just using my round braces. Okay, round braces is basically a direct return. So now let's give div over here, and inside this particular div, what we will do, we will check whether the user is logged in or not, and based on that we will show the post. Okay, so first of all, we will start by giving this div some class name. So let's say flex wrap, and also let's give some margin as to my small device width will be 35 VH. Okay, this is width, right? VW. And for my large screen, my width will be 45 VW. For my medium screen, my width will be 50 VW. Now, after giving this particular stylings, what I'll do, I'll just redirect my user to the login page if my user is not logged in, or else this basically, whenever I'm clicking inside this particular div and my user is not logging, I have to make them log in first before reading that particular blog. Okay, so over here we will also check the conditions. So I'm creating one link over here to this will be conditional. Okay, so we will check whether the user is logged in or not. So let's say user question mark, and if my user is false, in that case the next condition gets executed, right? So if this is true, this is the condition will be executed. So for that I'm writing the backtick over here /post. Don't make mistake while writing this particular endpoint. Okay, slash dollar post id post dot underscore id, and in case my user is not logged in that case I have to send them to a login page. So let's say /login like this. Now between this links, what I'll do, I'll just create my pass my home post. So I'll create this particular home post variable later, but right now I'm just passing this particular part. So let's say post id underscore id, and post is equal to post. Now this is how we pass the props. Okay, now I'll explain you what is happening over here. So in this particular div we have some home post, and that home post, on click of that particular post, either it should redirect you to the login page or it should open the post details. So for that what we are doing, we are redirecting them to that particular post if the user is logged in. In case the user is not logged in, we are redirecting them to our login page. I hope this part is clear to you. Now, what if there are no posts available? In that case, what we will do? So over here we will write. So let's say colon. If this condition is false, this particular condition is false. In that case, what we will do? We will give one h3 tag saying that no posts available. Like this, and also give some class names over here. So let's say class name text center font will be bold like this, and my empty will be 16. Okay, now after this I also want my footer. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just give my footer over here. Okay, it says loader is defined but not used. Why it says like that? I have used my loader over here. but it says loader is defined but never used, right? And react if use effect has missing independency, fetch posts. Okay, we will look for that, but right now let's look at the output. So over here you can see there are lots of errors. Okay, don't worry, don't get afraid by this errors. This happens when you are developing. Okay, we will try to resolve this particular errors. Okay, let's move back to our VS Code, and over here let's consider this errors first. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll just change this ls small l like this, and I'll also make change of my L over here. Fine. Now it says React hook use effect has a missing independency, fetch post. Okay, so let's try to debug that particular part. This fetch post returns the promise. Okay, so let's see why this is not getting this fetch post. Okay, so it says React hook use effect has some missing independencies, that is fetch post. Okay, so if you look at the fetch post over here, there is the only issue is that we don't have this categories yet with us. Okay, so no issues. We will when we will create the create post page, then we will be creating this particular categories. So don't worry about that. It should not give us any error. So if I'll just show you the output. Here it has the loader and this shows the 0. Instead of this would have shown us no post available, right? Because there are no posts available, but right now we don't have the categories. That's why this is showing 0 and just don't know whether we have the data or not. So that's why this is showing the loader. Okay, fine. I guess we are done with our home page. Once we will create our home post and create post page, then we will have some data over here. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started with creation of our create post. But before that, let's also create our loader. So if I'll just move to my loader component, and one more thing, let's move to our Tailwind CSS documentation. So if I'll just open a new tab over here and I'll write loader and Tailwind CSS like this. And you can see this flow byte also and Tailwind CSS documentation as well. So you can use this one as well or this one as well. Okay, so I'm opening the documentation right now, and you can see this processing one, this transaction one, this pulses one, and this wireframe one also. So there are so many loaders over here. Okay, you can use whatever you want. So I'm just taking this one. I'll just copy this particular part and I'll paste it over here. And if we look at the output, okay, this is not looking good, right? So I want a spinner, not this loader, not this kind of loader. So let's say spinner and Tailwind. Let's go to flow byte this time. Okay, and you can see this particular minimal loaders we have. There are loaders in different colors as well, different sizes as well, and everything. Okay, so you can check this particular loaders according to your requirements. Right now I'm just copying this particular part down and pasting that part instead of this one like this. Now let's check our output. So we have completed our loader component as well. Now let's move back and create our create post. So first of all, let's close all this and quickly move to our create post, and I'll removing this part. Okay, so let's start by importing the few things. First of all, I'm importing my footer from dot backslash components. Why it's not giving me the suggestions? I guess I need to check it. Let's say dot backslash components slash footers. Fine. What's happening? Okay. After that, we will also import I am cross from my React icons slash I am. Okay. Now now we will import our hooks. So let's say import use state comma use context. Now we have imported use context. That means we are going to use our user contacts from dot backslash contact slash user context. Now we will also be needing our Axios. So let's say Axios from here this one be X. Okay, fine. Now we also have to import our use navigate. So make sure this is use navigate over here. Okay, this is not use navigation or okay. So if you will import use repeat, so this is use navigate, not use navigation. And over here we will import this from our React router DOM like this. Now before print statement, before creating the UI, I am creating all the functionalities. Okay, so let's consider what are the things will be required when we are creating any blog. So first of all, there will be some blog title, there will be some blog description, right? And there will be some image, or you can say the file. Okay, then there will be some user who is creating that particular blog. There are some categories which the blog is being created on, and there will be single category also, and there can be multiple categories also. So for that I'm creating the use states over here. So first of all, we will start by creating this for the title comma set title. Title is equal to use state, and this will be my string because this is my title. Similarly, we will have for our description. So I'm not writing whole description over here, I'm just writing desc comma set desc is equal to use state. And similarly, this will also be my string because this is a name like this. And then we will have one image, and that image will be in file, and let's say set file tab. And initially this file will be null, so there will be nothing in this particular file. So this is null at the beginning, and then we will create one constant, and we will set as category set category is equal to use state, and initially the category will be A. Okay, A, or you can give anything over there. Now I'm just creating one more categories, and also giving set categories like this. And in use state I'm creating a empty array because we can store more than one category at a time also. Now I'm also creating one more variable, or you can say constant over here. Navigate is equal to use navigate, and use navigate function. Now what we will do, we will also delete the category. We can add category, and there will be handle to create. So we will create this particular function. So starting with the delete category, so let's say const. Okay, let's first build the category, then we will focus on deleting the category, so it will be more clear to you guys. Okay, so let's say const add category, and this will be arrow function like this, and let updated cats is equal to all the cats. So dot cats is basically category, and updated cats dot push to my cat. So over here we are changing the value for this particular part. Okay, and set cat will be empty at the beginning, and then the set cat will have my updated cats. So what is happening over here? Initially we had this particular category by default selected, which was A, and then when we are creating this particular function, what we will be doing, we will be setting that particular string as null, and we are updating this particular part. We are setting this particular category inside this array. So I hope this part is clear to you. Now let's delete the category. So let's say delete category like this, and I'm also creating this as arrow function, and inside this what I'll do, I'll just write let updated category. Now we have to remove that particular category from the array list. Okay, so let's say updated cats slash cat. First I had fetch all the categories which is present over there, and then what I'll do, I'll just say updated cat dot splice updated cats dot push dot splice over here, splice to I, and set cats as updated cats. Fine. So this is how you can delete the category. Now what we will do, we will create the submit handler. Okay, or you can say create handle. So let's say const handle create. This is basically for the button, create button. Okay, and this will be async operation because we are sending this particular data to our backend. So async, we will pass the e is basically the data coming from our front end, and inside this we will also write e.prevent default, because I know I don't want my page to get reloaded whenever I'm writing any data or whenever I'm clicking that particular button. So when on click of button, what happens is whenever I'm calling that particular function, my page get reloaded and my data will be lost. So I don't want to do that. I will prevent my page getting reloaded by using this e.prevent default. e.prevent default like this, and after that I'll create const post is equal to title slash disk comma username colon user dot username. Username comma user id colon user dot user id. Now we will also take the categories. So let's say categories, we have to send this categories to our backend. So let's say categories colon cat. Fine. So we have created our submit handle successfully. Now what we have to do, we will manage our errors as well. Okay, so before moving forward, see there are some errors over here. You can see it says that I is not defined. So can anybody comment on the video and can say that where I'm making the errors? So try doing that, but I also have to pass the I over here, and this I is utilizing over here. And if you see, it says that the user is not defined. So from where this user is coming, if you remember in the previous videos, we have also created one constant and one object saying user, and this user is coming from my context. So we'll also make this as user context. Use context first, use context, and inside that we will have user context like this, and from there the user is coming. Okay, so the errors are gone. Now let's move to our error handling part. So if it's just we have created this create handle function and everything, but we also have to check whether there are errors or not. So we haven't set the image yet, so we also have to do that, and then we have to write the try and catch block for it and everything. Okay, so let's do that. So first of all, I'm checking whether my file is true or not, whether the user has selected the image or not for that particular block. So inside my if block, I'm creating one const, name is data is equal to new, and I'm using form data over here function, and const file name is equal to data dot now plus file name. Now we also have to append this particular data, so let's also write data dot append, and we will store this particular file in form of image comma file name. Now data dot append the actual photo, first the name and then the photo. So let's say file comma file like this. Then let's say post dot photo is equal to file name. Okay, one more thing over here, this will be date, not data. Okay, it says the file not defined, so I'm passing this file over here, but it says that it's not defined. Let's try to figure it out. Okay, so basically this file is what we have created when we were creating this use state. So this is file and this is also file. Okay, now the error is gone. Fine. Now what we will do, we have set the data and we have sent the image to the backend. So in what format the image is stored in the backend? It's in the string format, and we are creating this particular folder for storing all the images. Now also we have to make use of a try and catch, because we are sending the data to the backend, right? So let's just do that. After this file name, inside this if condition only, I'm writing, let's say try, and inside this try block, what I'm doing, I'll be setting my image upload is equal to await axios dot post, and where we will be sending this particular data, we will be sending this to our API / upload, comma, what we will be sending the data. You can also console this particular data, but it will just give you the URL of that particular image, or you can say the text format of that particular image. So there is no point doing that. We will also catch the error by creating our catch block, and inside the catch block we will console the error. So let's say console.log whatever the error we encountered. Fine. So our image is uploaded, but what if we get any issues outside this particular if block? So for that we have to create a try and catch block, because we have to send this particular data, this post data and the image data to the backend, right? So let's say we are facing any issues over there. So first of all, I'm creating a catch block as well, so that it don't give me any kind of errors. So let's say error over here, and inside this we will console.log whatever the error we got. Okay, now inside the try block, whatever we do, we will write const response is equal to await exeos dot post, and inside this we will pass the URL or API link. Okay, so what is our endpoint? /API /post /create because we are creating the post, okay, comma post. And we also have to send the credentials, because we are checking for the user as well. So for that we also have to send this credentials and the tokens. Okay, so let's say credentials is equal to true. Either you can use the tokens or you can use the credentials. Okay, right now for this particular project I'm using credentials, and if you see some other projects of mine, there I'll be using tokens. Okay, and now we will also navigate to that particular post when the post is successfully uploaded. So let's say post / plus we will say response dot data dot underscore id. This will be dot underscore id. Fine. This was just the post, it was not create post. I might have pressed the enter over here. Okay, so I'll just remove this part. Fine. Okay, now we have successfully created all the functionalities. Now we just have to create the front end part. Now what we will do over here, we will write navbar at the beginning, because I want navbar in my all the pages. So you can also directly put this particular navbar at the top of my home page, app.js, and you can use that as well. But I'm not making this project that much complex by wrapping everything inside some another component and increasing the hierarchy and everything. So I'm not doing that. So I have not imported my navbar, so let's import it. Fine. You can see the error is gone. Alright. Now what we will do, after navbar, I'll create one div over here, just like we have done for all the other things. Inside this I'll write class name flex justify center. Now outside this I'll create one more div like this, and inside this particular div let's give class name, let's say px as 6, margin as 4, border also flex call, and my width will be 70, like this. Now let's also give some shadow as excel, then md pixel is equal to 200 pixel and empty 8. Now after that I'll just give some heading to it. So let's say h1, and over here I'll write create a post like this, and also giving this some class names, and let's make font as bold, then md text as 2xl, then text normally will be 2XL also, and margin top will be 3. My this particular H1 will be of flex and justify center because I want my text in center of my screen. Okay, and after that I'll create a form, and inside that particular form we will be taking all the data of our particular blog. So for that, let's say form. Okay, what did I do? Let's say form, and inside this particular form I'm also giving some class names over here. So let's say class name like this, and width I'm making it as full. This will be flex call, and space y as 4, md space y as 8, and empty 4. Okay, now let's create one input tag, input, and on change. Okay, let's just create an input tag like this first. Now on change what we will do, we will set the title. Okay, so I'm creating the arrow functions over here with e as in my target value. So let's say set title, and this title will be e dot target dot value. Okay, so I have set my title. Now we will give some class names to it, and we will also mention our type. So type will be text for this one, and placeholder, let's give some placeholder over here saying that enter your okay, let's just keep it enter post title. Okay, title like this. Okay, now let's give some class names, and I'm not giving much styling over here as I have mentioned earlier, and inside this let's just give px as 4, and py as 2, outline line none. Okay, that's it. Now I'll create one more input tag like this, and similarly on change of that particular input tag we will change our file. Okay, so let's do that over here. I'll create on change over here, and on change what we will do, we will take the e, and what we will do, we will set the file, what we will set in that particular file, e dot target dot value. Okay, and initially target not value, let's make this as a file because we will be getting the file format over here, or you can say the image format over here. Okay, so this will be file, so e dot file over here. So let's say file, and initially it will be storing it from the 0. All right, now after that we will also mention the type. So you can say type will be file over here. Okay, not the text, and let's give some class name as px4 like this. Now we will create one div, and inside that particular div we will give the options to select the category. Okay, so after this particular input tag I'll create one div like this, and let's give this div some class name. So let's say class name, and making this flex call. All right, and inside this I'm creating one more div over here like this. Let's give this div class names as well. So let's say class name, and let's make the display flex. First of all, item will be center, space x will be 4, and for medium device my space x will be 8. Okay, now I'll create one select over here. Okay, so what basically select tag does is it gives you the drop down list. Okay, so I'm creating that particular drop down, and you can give the category name according to your liking and convenience. And I have took some categories name according to the the model I have created for you. So values as cat, and on change, what we will do on change, we will set the category value. We will change the category value. So let's say set cat as e dot target dot value over here. Now inside this particular select, we will give some options. So I'll show you one option, and then I'll copy paste my other options. Okay, or you can what you can do over here is you can also duplicate this only. Okay, first of all we will have the value, and what are the values? So let's say big data. Okay, first category is big data, and an option also we will write big data. So I'll take a few categories just like this. I'll just quickly copy paste all the categories. You can see I have created few categories over here. I have mentioned these are the options. If you want, you can use the similar options, or you can change this option accordingly. Okay, now after creating this category, what we will do, we will create one more div. Okay, I'm creating that particular div inside this particular div only, outside this select. Okay, so over here what I'll do, I'll just create one div like this, and I'll give on click to this. What we are doing, we are adding the category, so we are giving the option to edit category over here. Let's just give some class names over here. Background will be black. So on click of this particular button, we will be able to add categories. The text will be white, and my px will be 4, my py will be 3, or you can make this as 2 also. Okay, now let's say font semi bold and cursor pointer, and inside this particular div I'll give the add. Now this is done. Now what we will do, outside this particular div, we are done with the categories. We will create map this particular category, and we will also create the delete functionality button. Okay, so how the person will able to delete the category? So let's say I have selected this particular category by mistake, and now I have to remove that particular category. So I'll just give the cross sign over there. On click of that particular cross sign, my category will be removed from my blog, not from my backend. Not this option will not get changed. My only the selected category from that particular blog will be deleted. Okay, so make sure of that. And over here what I'll do, I'll just write div like this, and over here let's give some class names. Let's say flex px4 and mt3. Now inside this I'll make one conditional rendering. Let's say cats question mark, and over here let's say dot map. What we will map, c comma I, taking this to variable, and inside this return, what we will return, div, and that div will have key as I, and let's give some class names over here. Let's make this as flex justify center item center space x2, and margin right will be 4. My background will be gray 200, which is almost whitish, just a grayish white. Okay, and px is equal to 2, py is equal to 1, rounded, md. Now inside this we will have our category, so let's just write p over here, and we will also write c inside this. That is basically a name of category. Now over here I'll also write the functionality to remove that particular category. So I'm creating one p tag over here, and inside this particular p tag, what I'll do, I'll create on click of this, my delete category handle will be called. So for that, I'm making one arrow function like this, and over here I'll be writing delete category like this, and with I. So I also have to pass which category I have to delete, otherwise it will delete all the categories. Okay, now let's give some class names over here. So let's say class name text white, background will be black, and rounded will be full like this. Cursor will be pointer, and p1 text sm, and in this we will have our cross icon. Okay, I am cross like this. All right, there are no errors. Okay, all right. Now what we will do, outside this particular div, I'll also create one text area to give my content of my particular blog. So I'm creating one text area over here, text area like this, and let's also and close this, and over here let's write on change of this particular part. What we will do, we will set this particular data in our backend, or you can say we will set description like this, and we will write e.target value, e.target.value, and we will also mention how many rows and columns we want to give. So for the rows I'm taking 9, and for columns you can decrease or increase this particular rows and columns according to your needs, but this was enough space to write a blog. And if the content is exceeding this particular rows and column, it will be in a scroll view. Don't worry, your space for writing the blog will not decrease by just mentioning this particular rows and columns. Okay, now we'll also give some class names to it. Let's make px as 4, py as 2, and outline will be none. Then we will write font as semi bold, will work I guess, and px as 4. Now we will also give some placeholders over here. So let's say placeholder, and in placeholder we will write enter post description like this. And now outside this particular text area, okay, now outside this particular text area I'll create one button over here, and okay, on click of this particular button, what we will do, we will call our handle create, and let's give some class names over here as well. So let's say class name, background will be black, my width will be full, MD width will be 20%, then we will also make our MX auto, we will give our text as white, my font will be semi bold, and px will be 4, py will be true, and md text will be Axel, otherwise my text will be LG. Now between this button I'll write create blog, okay, so let's keep it as create only. Okay, And at the end I also want a footer over here, so I'll just create a footer. Okay, image upload is assigned but never used. Why it is saying that the image upload is assigned but never used? So let me check. Okay, 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 this is inside our try block, right? And this is our await exhaust function, so we don't need to use this particular variable. We are just creating this particular variable to call this particular function. All right, so at the very declaration of this particular variable or constant, you can say, this await exhaust will be happening, so we don't need to worry about not used. And as well as this fetch post dependency missing, it's okay, it's all right. Now if I'll just show you the output, this is working fine. Let's just try to log in over here. First let's say test @gmail.com, and my password is 123456. Now let's log in. Okay, all right. You can see after login as well, this is showing me the same screen. This is because we also have to change this data, whether we are logging or not in our home page. So we will see how we can do that later, but as of now, we have completed with our create post, we have completed with our home page, and we have also seen how to create a beautiful loader for our particular component. Now after that we will be creating the rest of the component in our next video. So for that, follow the Intellipaat YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit on the bell icon for regular updates for this particular series, and I'll see you guys in next one. Just a quick info guys, Intellipaat offers a full stack developer course which enable you to learn tech stack from both front end and back end. Through this course, you will gain hands-on experience with the skills and technologies such as SQL, Java, data structure, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Node.js, and React under the guidance of industrial professionals. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out the testimonial on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your careers to new heights. So visit the course page link given in the description and take the first step towards the career growth with the full stack developer course.